Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's workshop. Super excited. Let's get this party started. You can go ahead and turn on your cameras. I'd love to share with you some insight on something that I've discovered, and I'll also share with you for the community. So today is going to be a workshop on. So every month we host these workshops, and it's really all around like selling SaaS and creating monthly recurring revenue. And over the last few weeks, I did a post on Facebook. Let me get it for you. I'll share with you. I did a post on Facebook about transitioning from a marketing agency to a SaaS agency, and people were like, "Andy, what?" And my DMs were my direct messages. I got enough questions where people were asking like, "Hey, can you share some insight?" So that's what I want to do today, is give you some insight on the journey of going from a marketing agency to a full-time SaaS agency. So in the chat box, if you could share with me, where are you at today? Are you currently doing done-for-you services for your clients? In the chat box, I would love to get a clear understanding on who's here. So Jacques, you're 100% SaaS. So let's put the difference. A marketing agency is going to be someone who does the done-for-you services. So you're currently doing done-for-you services of some sort. You set up people's websites, you set up their email marketing campaigns, you run Facebook ads, so on and so forth. That's going to be for you if you're a marketing agency. The SaaS agency is going to be like, hey, I just sell the software. You may include snapshots for your clients to maximize the use of the software, but you're not doing anything custom. Like your business, your main business is essentially selling the software and creating value for your customers on a recurring basis by giving them access to technology. So let's get started with that, and let's get a clear understanding. So here we have, so Jacques, you're 100% SaaS. Mark Cantrell, you are both SaaS and done-for-you. So you're on the marketing agency side. Liza Krzali, you are growing your SaaS. Liam, SaaS, creating funnels for mommypreneurs. I love that. So Suzette, that would put you at the, are you custom? Is it all custom for you, Suzette? So if that's custom for you, then you're on the marketing agency side. Varun, marketing agency, done for you. Angels, both. Aaron is SaaS and done for you. Sanders, hybrid agency. Steven, both agency, trying to move to SaaS. So Steven, this workshop is going to be for you. If you're an agency and you're trying to move to SaaS, let me know in the chat box if you are an agency owner and you're looking to move to SaaS. If that's currently where you are at today. If you're like, hey, I'm currently a agency, but I want to move to SaaS. Let me know where you're at now. Okay, so here's what I'll do. So Varun, you're saying, hey, I'm looking at what it entails, and Liza, mostly SaaS, some clients are done for you. So I'm just gonna share with you essentially Andy's experience. Is that okay with you? I'm gonna share with you my experience. In my journey, we were running a high six-figure marketing agency. Now, a little bit about my background is I used to work on another software. So let me show you right here. I used to get these awards from another software that I ran with. This one is Keep. They would give us awards and partnerships and fly us around the country and do amazing things with us. And we were bringing them many customers. And then on top of that, we worked with Kajabi, where our team, my company, would build out online courses, things of that nature. And then on top of that, we also ran ads to those campaigns. So like we caught ourselves in this whirlpool of, hey, let me set up your funnel. Well, what is the product that you're selling inside your funnel? And some clients may not have the product, a digital product. So then we'll say, hey, we'll create your digital product as a service as well, and we'll create online courses for you. And then now we have the funnel set up, now we have the course set up. Then the next question is, okay, I need traffic to it. Then we would say, hey, we'll drive traffic to it as well. So we were essentially a full-fledged marketing agency. upwards of $70,000, $80,000 a month in done for you services every single month. And then I got to a point in my journey, in Andy's journey, where I started to realize that I was always glued to my computer. And the idea of getting away was a tough situation. And it's because the customers' expectations that our customers had, that's number one. Number two, whenever someone is paying you a high amount every single month, if they're paying you $10,000 a month, $5,000 a month, there's a level of attention that they require and request from you. And so with that being said, it's important that I always was available, or someone on my team was always available. And that's where the lifestyle and what the business model that was offered didn't make sense for me. And this is where a lot of things changed for me. In 2021, or I think at the end of 2021, or maybe 2022, Go High Level was hosting a mastermind. Now I transitioned and I started my Go High Level account, and they held a mastermind. And which is why I'm starting to host masterminds as well, because I see so many people in the community that needs that community and that attention. And also like experience of who's actually done it. And I went to the Go High Level Mastermind, and there was an exercise where this exercise was essentially about create your ideal lifestyle and create your customer avatar and so on and so forth. So I wrote down mine. And Sean Clark, who is the founder of High Level, came to me and said, Andy, you may want to consider going all in on SaaS. You may want to consider going all in on recurring revenue. And I said, come on, man, like let's do the math. $297 a month on a software compared to $40,000 for a done for you service. I'll take the $40,000 all day. Put in the chat box if you would take the $40,000 over $297 a month. Put in the chat box, like put either words, I will, if that's you. If you would take 40 grand, Liam, I love what your answer was. You said, not gonna lie, man, I already know the answer, right? Sanders said, I would. Mark is like, I will take 40 grand over 297. And then in that moment, some of the done for you agency clients, we have a full-on staff in my company, at my marketing agency. Well, when I ran a marketing agency, we have a full staff that's available for you 9 to 5. You don't have to talk to Andy. Now, I got a phone call. I was talking to Sean Clark, and I got a phone call. And the phone call was like, hey, my wife, who was a project manager at the time, she says, babe, there's a client who continually calls me. I need you to handle this because I can't talk to the client right now. I'm just doing a physical at the doctor's office. I'm just doing my yearly checkup, and I'm not available. And I said, I'll handle it. So I then get the phone call. I then get the phone call from the client. And the client tells me, hey, Andy, I paid your organization. I paid you. I said, no, sir. So you paid my company. No, I paid you. And I need to talk to you. I said, I have staff that's available for you. And the customer said, I paid you so much money. I want to talk to you personally. I don't want to talk to anybody on your staff. And that's when it dawned on me. Because right behind me, I had Sean, who I walked away from. And I said, let me handle this call, telling me, Andy, 297, just get it in volume is going to be better than a customer paying you 40,000. And I had to have that wake-up call to understand what he actually meant. And now I understand today. Because today, as of today, I would take a 297 client over $40,000 any day. That's today. If you said 3 years ago, Andy, you would be saying that, I would say that you're crazy. But it's because I have a new awakening. Excuse me. I have a new awakening. And the objective of today's workshop is I want to share with you that discovery. If you're currently in a stage of like, well, Andy, I do high ticket services, and I like the idea of transitioning, but the money doesn't make sense, or the experience doesn't make sense, or like, how do I do it? That's what this workshop is going to be. Now, majority of this workshop is going to be my opinion. Why? Because there's going to be somebody else in the community. There's going to be someone else on Facebook. There's going to be someone else on Instagram that's going to tell you, no, do high ticket services and be like, do high ticket services all day and spend $5,000 or get customers at $5,000 or $6,000 or $100,000. Do high ticket services. And I'm going to share with you why I don't, and why high ticket services. For us, just last month, my company celebrated the highest revenue month since we transitioned. Just last month in May 2024, I made more revenue than any of my high ticket months when we were running as a marketing agency. My accountant came on the call on this last Monday, and he's like, Andy, you won't believe what I just realized when I did a year-to-date analysis from this year when you were all SaaS compared to the marketing agency. So my team is celebrating this right now, and we're preparing a trip. I'm preparing a trip to the Philippines to go spend some time with them, to celebrate with them. And what I want to share with you, team, is this. When I was running a marketing agency and I was doing those high ticket services, it was a lot of Andy's like intellectual property guidance and so on and so forth. Go High Level built your SaaS for you. They built your product. So now I have more time freedom. So when my accountant tells me, hey, Andy, you had your highest revenue month since transitioning, you made more profit since the marketing agency. And I'm like, well, I was in Monterey, California just a week ago. Before that, I was in London traveling, and my wife and I are planning a honeymoon. Like, we're doing all of this travel, buying our new home, getting our new home, cars, the lifestyle that we talk about. And come to find out, it's because I'm running a different business model. Okay, I'm running a different business model. Sander says how much, and Anna says how much. What is profit? Well, I'll share with you this, Anna. Over 40% of my revenue, every time I make $1,000 in my SaaS, 40% of it goes to profit. Okay, that's like 42%. So if I do the math, $1,000, let's say I sell a set in total SaaS revenue. If $1,000 comes in, $420 goes straight to the profit. Goes straight to profit. So after customers are onboarding, after Facebook ads to market to clients, after email marketing, paying Twilio, paying Go High Level themselves, all those expenses, $420 goes out of every $1,000, goes straight to profit. When I was a marketing agency, my goal at the time was 18%. That 18% goes to profit. Now, my SaaS agency does over $600,000 a year today. I met a gentleman who is a high ticket marketing agency, and in his agency, he was doing $3 million. So my SaaS does 600,000. His marketing agency does $3 million. He came to me because he wants to transition away from the marketing agency. I asked him what his net profit percentage was off of that 3 million. After we went through the numbers, my SaaS made more profit than his marketing agency at 3 million, which is the game of a marketing agency owner. The game of a marketing agency owner is like, I got to get more customers, get more customers, get more customers, get more customers, right? Because you end up being in this loop. This was my experience. This was at least my experience. So when I was doing the high ticket services, I was always trying to find more customers, because out of every $1,000 that comes in, $18, my goal is 18% is actually profit. Sometimes you'll end up netting 6. Why? Because you're on this, you have to constantly hire people. So let me read you this Facebook post that I wrote. Okay, I'm gonna read you this Facebook post, and then I'll go into the training, and maybe the training will also elaborate a little bit more. Now, if you are currently in a stage of like, Andy, I just invested in a marketing agency, or I just invested in becoming an agency of some sort, I can totally understand. I can totally relate. This is not to burst your bubble. I'm just sharing with you a different business model, and I'm just going to share with you a different perspective. I'm just sharing with you a different business model, a different perspective. So I created this. I created a Facebook post, which I had it, then now I lost it. So let me go ahead and find it one more time. This was in the High Level Facebook community. And this is a transparent workshop, by the way. This is completely transparent. And my goal here is to help the community, help you, especially if you're in any of my programs. As you know, the reason why I started sharing about like our back end, and I started coaching the community and Go High Level. The reason I started doing that, because I saw a bigger opportunity. the bigger opportunity that I saw is that today you can actually sell your Go High Level SaaS. Okay. Today you can actually sell your Go High Level SaaS. Actually, today I already have I'm coaching a group of people inside of a coaching program called Syndicate, and as well as Intensive. The Syndicate is $99, but I'm not here to talk to you about that. But the reason why I'm sharing with you like what I've discovered and why I'm coaching and giving you access to blueprints, snapshots, like the whole process, is because when I discovered that you can sell your SaaS, I wanted to get mine evaluated. So in July 2023, I met with a business broker. We went through my QuickBooks. And today, or as of July 23, if I wanted to sell my SaaS, the value of my SaaS was $1.9 million. And I looked at the guy across the table. I said, $1.9 million, that's crazy, man. That is a game of progression, because my marketing agency, no one would want to buy a marketing agency, even if it did $1 million plus. No one would want to buy a marketing agency unless like they're buying the leads list or contacts or something else. The reason why that someone would want to buy a SaaS is because it's predictable recurring revenue. The reason why most buyers won't want to buy a marketing agency is because it's a job. If someone buys a marketing agency, somebody's got to come in to operate it. When someone looks at a SaaS and they're like saying, oh, your business makes $56,000 a month recurring revenue, and what is my fulfillment? Maybe hire 1 or 2 virtual team members to just manage billing and support, customer support. I mean, what else is there, right? The product's already done, created, and it's maintained by a bigger company called High Level. So what else is there for a business that's generating $56,000? But if it's a $56,000 marketing agency and you're running Facebook ads for this client, you're creating funnels for that client, doing this service for that client, then I would be buying a job, and no one wants to buy a job, especially. So I created this Facebook post. Let me go ahead and let me read it to you here, and I'll share with you on my screen. So this was in the High Level Facebook group. So this was the image that I created, and the premise of today's training is going to be based on this Facebook post. So the Facebook post was like more of like a quick insight. Today I'm going to go more in depth, and I'm going to answer questions. If you're currently in a situation where you're like, hey, I want to transition, I just want to create recurring revenue, Andy, I just want to be able to take care of my family, I'm sharing with you a different way. So let's go through this Facebook post. So the Facebook says, if I wanted to make $30,000 per month recurring with Go High Level, and I had the choice of option A, having 10 customers at $3,000 per month, which is a high ticket marketing agency doing done for you services, which I have done already. I've done that. Or option B, having 100 customers at $300 per month, a low ticket SaaS agency just selling the software. Here's what I would do. If I were starting my agency all over again, I would choose option B, which is to have 100 customers at $300 per month. And even better, I would probably aim for 100. And if I missed my target and landed at just 60 SaaS subscribers paying $500 per month, I would hit my goal of $30,000 per month recurring revenue much quicker. So I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur who was on the verge of starting a marketing agency. And I was sharing my experience of being a marketing agency owner versus a SaaS agency owner. And it is a night and day difference. Actually, 2 years ago, I was getting $2,500, $5,000, $8,000 per month, or even one-time services, $40,000. And what was common between each sale, I was stressed out with the fulfillment. If you don't know my story, it was at the Go High Level Mastermind in 2022 that this SaaS thing all shifted for me, and monthly recurring revenue in small amounts started to make sense for me. That is when I committed to transition from marketing agency to SaaSpreneur. While I was talking to Sean, a client who paid, so that was a story that I shared with you earlier, right? That was a story that I shared to you. But it was at that moment where I committed that I will transition from a marketing agency to a SaaS agency. I put my head down and focused on subscriptions. Now we are nearly at 600,000. Well, we already crossed that as of today. So this post was written a couple months ago. But we are nearly at 600,000 annual recurring revenue, which with a bunch of people paying $399, $749 plus. Every day I wake up and there's new revenue collected in my Stripe accounts. I'm currently at the gym. So when I wrote that, I'm currently at the gym in the sauna, and I'm seeing different clients SMS and email rebilling, I call that money on the go. Automations running my billing, pre-recorded webinar, white label webinars, sell my SaaS. I have an amazing overseas team for customer management, and my customer support is white labeled. Today, I'm full SaaS. I don't do done-for-you marketing services anymore. Knowing what I did, here is how I transitioned out of my high-ticket service business to low-ticket monthly recurring revenue that makes more revenue and more profit. So that's what. So that's the premise. Then I shared a couple of steps, but in this workshop, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and then a little bit more of the back end. Okay. So number one, to start my transition, I stopped doing monthly services on other platforms. I used to do monthly build outs and management on Kajabi, ClickFunnels, and I immediately said to each person, for me to service you, it has to be on my platform. I was nervous about this, but I had 100% of my customers agree to be on my white label platform, Progretta. Let me ask in the chat box, are you currently doing done-for-you services for other people on other for your clients on other platforms outside of your SaaS or outside of high level? Put a yes in the chat box if that's you. Okay. So a couple of yeses. Awesome. Dakota says heck no. Well, Dakota, if it's Dakota R, then I know who you are. You're a gold awardee. You're currently in our coaching programs. I know you're definitely not doing that. Okay, it is Dakota R. Yeah, definitely. Dakota says, heck no. I love that. All right. But there's a couple of you who are saying yes. So I'm going to share with you at least my perspective on it and to give some guidance and some light. Okay. The number two thing that I did is after 90 days of this, I then stopped adding new high ticket monthly services like monthly Facebook ads where I charge $3,000 a month. And I only did initial build outs, one-time setups. And I'm going to explain more about this shortly. Okay. But where am I? So I'm at number two. After 90 days of this, I then stopped adding new high-ticket monthly services like monthly Facebook ads, where I charge $3,000 per month, and I only did initial build-outs, which are one-time setups, and I did it on my SaaS. So an example of that is I would take a one-time $5,000 website build-out, but no monthly ads, and the deal would be $5,000 one time for the site, then $399 a month for the CRM that powers the site. Right? This allowed me to get cash up front while gaining subscribers. I figured getting 10 customers to pay $2K to $5K up front one time, then they all pay $399 per month, was smarter in the long run than putting my attention on high ticket reoccurring, which ends up canceling anyway. So for number two, let's go to number two. Put the word "that's me" in the chat box if you're currently charging people monthly services, high ticket monthly services, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $550 a month. I wouldn't say that's high ticket, but a thousand plus, right? Put the word "that's me" in the chat box if you are currently doing high ticket monthly services. So Josh, yes, that's you, Josh. Suzette, that's you. Okay. Now, number three, let's go to number three. The number three is after 3 to 4 months of doing one-time setups, I stopped doing all services entirely and only sold SaaS, just the software. At this time, I still had recurring high-ticket contracts on retainer, but what ended up happening is my accountant told me my SaaS revenue was profitable. My biggest cost was the labor on the high-ticket side, and if I transitioned, then we would have remained profitable. Okay. Josh, you just wrote something in the comment that is powerful. If you stay tuned, I may bring you up for a Q&A because you just said 80% of your revenue is tied up between two clients, which is a tough pill to swallow. That is a tough. So that means if you lose one client, just one customer, 40% of your revenue is out the door. Okay, so stay tuned. I may bring you up towards the end. Number four is I stopped done-for-you services altogether. I contacted all my customers and told them at the end of the contract, we won't renew, and I focus on SaaS. Put a yes in the chat box if one of the reasons that you don't want to transition from marketing agency to SaaS is because you're afraid you're going to lose some clients and possibly lose revenue. Put a yes in the chat box if that's you. If you're like, hey, look, Andy, I would love to like go all SaaS. It sounds cool, but I'm at a stage where I would probably lose a lot of money by making that decision. Put a yes in the chat box. If going from if you currently, as of today, feel like going from marketing agency to SaaS agency is gonna be like, is completely scary, and then it could tank the bank. If that's what your thoughts are, if it could tank the bank. Okay, thank you for being transparent. So I see you in the chat box. Thank you for being transparent of telling me where you're at. The next thing is to get SaaS subscribers, I host one webinar every single month to sell my SaaS. And I get as many people on the webinar to do a group demo using a white label sales presentation. If I get 100 people to see my webinar, I'd get 8 to 12 SaaS subscribers in one day. Upon purchase, the onboarding workflow would automatically schedule the new customer with a white label onboarding partner, and they would receive 24/7 tech support from my white label vendor. And then I essentially automated sales, onboarding, and retention without hiring additional people or doing any custom work for clients. This process freed up my time, created more profit. I get more revenue, and it's been a game changer ever since. If you are a marketing agency and this resonates with you and you've been thinking about it, then go SaaS. This is essentially the blueprint. And then I created this image here that shows one of the Simpsons laying down with peace because they have monthly recurring revenue. And then a marketing agency is like, I got a new idea. Should I change my logo? I should start a sale? Maybe I should take another training. I need to find a good vendor. Should I keep working from home? Man, I need to make some reels. Like I need to figure out how to get some customers. And it's like stressful. It's like outside is stressful. And I can understand. So if that is you, I can truly understand. I remember I've had enough situations on the day of my wedding. I remember I had an agency client messaging me directly saying, the day of my wedding, I'm about to walk down the aisle, y'all. And the agency client's like, this was my journey. If you are currently a marketing agency and you figured it out and you're one of the top 1% that ended up figuring it out and you're not glued to your computer and you have the time freedom that we all want, kudos to you. In Andy's journey, on the day of my wedding, there was a funnel broken and a Facebook algorithm that needed to be updated. And I was the one that had the knowledge, or at least they came to me, even though we have assigned project managers and so forth. So even though my team has assigned project managers and, we have the whole system and the whole team, even though we had that, I was still the bottleneck of my company. And after connecting with hundreds, if not thousands of different agencies, I'm seeing that still to be true today. So if it was just Andy, then I wouldn't be doing this workshop. It was just an Andy thing. Like it's only happened to Andy, I wouldn't be doing this. But my DMs have been flooded with inquiries. I see it in support inbox when people email support. We have a coaching program with hundreds of members in that coaching program with all agency owners. And I see it time and time where many of them are doing high ticket services. And they're like, hey, my goal, I just want to transition. Like I need to spend some more time with my family. I want to be able to do the lifestyle that everyone keeps talking about SaaS. And I'm like, what's in the gap? Well, why can't you just make the decision? And I come to find out from most that I hear, it's the money. It's if I stop doing done for you services, if I just stop doing done for you services, I will cut 90% of my revenue. All right. I will go down to almost zero. That's scary. I can't think about this. And then what I end up hearing is like, it's like a whirlpool, or it just keeps sucking you back in because you can't transition out because you're doing the high ticket services to pay your bills. But you can't focus on creating monthly recurring revenue through your SaaS because you're focusing on doing high ticket done for you services. So you're doing these high ticket services week in and week out. In the back of your mind, you're saying, I want to get out of this. I want to just have money coming in every single month. The challenge with that is if I were to go cold turkey, I'm not going to make enough. Put the word yes in the chat box if you can relate. I just want to make sure I'm not wasting your time. Put a yes in the chat box if there's an element of this that you could relate to. Because I wish someone told me ahead of time. Dude, I met Sean. I'm glad I had that awakening when I met Sean and I started to see the opportunity. But I know my wife is about to walk down the aisle, and how dare I? I'm looking at my phone, handling a Facebook algorithm update change in a marketing agency, and I'm like, yo, this is, and I would always tell my wife, like, well, now my wife, she was my girlfriend back then. I would always tell her, like, I just need a couple more clients. Just need a couple more clients. Let me get a couple more clients, right, Suzanne? You feel me? Let me get a couple more clients. And then that's when we'll take the trip to Hawaii. Let me get a couple more clients, and then we'll finally get our time freedom. Let me get a couple more clients. And then every month, it would just be like a couple more clients, a couple more clients, a couple more clients. And then a couple years in, I'm like, shit, man, it's like I'm paying the bills. I'm making a lot of money. Let's not get it twisted. Like, as a marketing agency, you're making a lot of money. You're making a good amount of money. You could bring in $80,000, $100,000 a month, right? So you're making some good. Josh said, luckily you still got married. Yeah. Josh, you're funny, man. But you're making money, but then you're like, on this other side, you want this freedom. And I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm going to be honest with you. One of the things for me is, like, today, I'm ready to have kids. I never had kids. You know, my friends are having kids, and I'm at the stage of my life where I want kids. When I was a marketing agency, I remember saying I cannot have kids. Why? Because I know what it takes to pay the bills. I got to put my attention here. But for the first time ever in the last few years, I have complete time freedom, and I'm only creating more and more freedom. If you look at Instagram, like the stuff I do on Instagram, like, it's like I'm traveling, I'm going to Denver, like I'm traveling, I'm doing everything that I wish that I thought I could do with the agency. I ended up realizing I had the wrong business model. So if you can relate to what I'm sharing with you, where you're like, just let me get a couple more deals, maybe just a couple more retainer clients. From me in my journey, I'm going to share with you, it was a rat race. Like, you leave one rat race of a 9 to 5, and then you end up starting an agency, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna have this freedom. Ty Lopez or somebody online said that I'm gonna get some freedom. And then you end up running a marketing agency, and then you're like, oh, wow, there's actually fulfillment here. There's actually a process to fulfill. And that's when you get stuck. So in today's training, I'm sharing with you the transition from marketing agency to SaaS. And this is more of an interactive workshop. So this is not where I'm just talking to you. This is where I'm going to be taking a lot more questions, because I already laid it out inside of that Facebook post. I've already communicated, like, hey, this is the steps. Now, what I notice, because I'm a coach and because I'm a trainer and so on and so forth, because I'm a coach and because I'm a trainer, I notice that sometimes, like, there needs to be use case scenarios. There needs to be more information and more examples. And that's what creates the impact, right? Because it's simple for me to say, hey, just stop doing done for you marketing agency, just focus on selling the software. But many times what happens is, like, what's the how? Like, how do I do that? What do I do? And so on and so forth. So the premise of today is I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that Facebook post, at least into my business. But I'm also going to answer some of the questions that you may have in your business, right? If you are currently listening to me and you're like, I want to do that, then I'm going to answer some of your questions on today's call. So be sure to prepare questions. As you have questions, write it down in the chat box. I will get to most of them. So as you have questions and as they come up, this is very interactive, okay? So number one, on this journey of transitioning from marketing agency to SaaS agency is, number one, only do services on your SaaS. So that means today, if you are doing services on, let's say, like a Kajabi, like a ClickFunnels, whatever the other platforms are, if you're doing services on another platform, identify how you can just do it on your own SaaS. So for example, in Andy's scenario, I actually remember this one customer that worked with us in the marketing agency. And that's when we were on our transition. So my team would essentially build out projects for Kajabi for courses on Kajabi. That was our deal. Like, we were well-versed in Kajabi. I knew the ins and outs of Kajabi on online courses. I've built multiple six-figure courses inside of Kajabi for myself, and then we were doing it for others. When I had decided that I wanted to become a SaaS agency, full-on SaaS agency, the first thing I did was I went to certain clients and I said, hey, if you want us to wrap up your course, right? If you want us to complete your course, if you want us to be the one to do it, you can go to anyone else. However, we no longer do it projects on Kajabi anymore. So I know in the past, so I would go to some clients and say, people who were thinking about doing business with us, and I say, I know that you in the past, we've talked about Kajabi, you've seen my trainings on Kajabi. However, as of today, we no longer do services on Kajabi. So if you want to hire us, you're going to hire us to use Progretta, which is a Kajabi competitor or alternative. And everything that we promise you that Kajabi can do, Progretta can do as well as far as the courses. And there's a lot more. So if you want to hire us to do your course, you're going to need to transition and move from Kajabi to Progretta. And guess what? 100% of the people said, sure, no problem. True story. And I'm over here thinking to myself, like it was going to be a big deal. And I'm like preparing myself mentally. I'm preparing to lose customers in my mind. And many of them were like, no problem. I never cared about the platform. I never cared if it was Kajabi or Shopify or yourmama.com. Like I never cared. What I cared about is, can I sell my course and can it be done and can someone do it for me? So that's what they cared about. So I went to the customers and I remember saying like, okay, we'll sign you up. And instead of you paying Kajabi X dollars per month, you'll pay Progretta X dollars per month. So we always had two separate invoices and I would always suggest you to do the same. So your marketing agency. So for example, you can see my background. My marketing agency is Audate Media. My SaaS is Progretta. So whenever we did marketing agency services, we charged it under one Stripe account, which is Audate Media. And then Progretta was a different Stripe account. So I would invite you to do the same thing in your transition plan. If you currently have one Stripe account, you want to immediately separate it and create one Stripe account for, you don't have to have a different EIN, by the way. You don't have to have a different LLC, different EIN. You don't have to do that part. It's just another account. Same email address. It'll just be essentially a sub account. Okay. So one for the marketing agency, one for the SaaS. Okay. So what I did was I created a Stripe account for Progretta, and then I already had a Stripe account for Audate Media. And then the client, I would invoice them separately for the service than for the SaaS. So meaning, hey, if you want us to do your course, for example, let's say we'll do a done for you course, and that done for you course, you're doing the videos, we're just building it all out. That's $25,000. So we'll send an invoice for $25,000 from Audate Media Stripe account, and then we'll have them go sign up for Progretta for whatever the price is, $399 a month, right? So they get the software on a separate invoice. They see a different name, even though in the back end, it's still legally the same business, okay? So only do services on your SaaS. That's number one, okay? If you have any questions on that, put it in the chat box. I will come back and answer them, okay? Now, the next thing. So when you're doing this, it's possible that you may lose some customers on done for you service. Like if you said, if they were expecting you to do it on Shopify, or if they were expecting you to do it on Kajabi or whatever platform, if that was the case, you may lose a customer here or there. In my scenario, I happen to never lose any of those customers in my scenario. Next one is, so only do services on your SaaS. That's the premise. Number two is replace recurring services with one-time setups. So in our scenario, we were doing like $3,000 a month for Facebook ads. Actually, I still to this day, I still have the landing page. I still have the landing page, but I mean, you can't really, we don't fulfill on these services, but I still have one of the landing pages up over here, right? And on this landing page here, it was $3,000 a month for us to do Facebook ads, and then the customer will pay ad spend plus they'll use the software. And then we were charged like a setup fee, right? And we had customers in the boatload, especially coming from my webinars, to sign up for this done for you service, right? Who wouldn't want done for you service appointment setting? Now, the hard part was saying no to recurring revenue, like at $3,000, $4,000, and so on and so forth. So my job every single month, my team's job every single month is to acquire customers, for one-time setups. So an example of the one-time setup is going to be like, hey, I will build out a Facebook. I will build out your website for you. I will build out your funnels. I will build out your email sequence. I will build out your text message sequence. I will build out your opportunities dashboard. So you can transition and you just charge a fee one time to set it all up, and then plus a subscription. So here's an example of what that may look like. So let's say you're coming from where I was coming from. You're used to doing $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, and so on and so forth for different services. The problem with that is you end up getting stuck in the fulfillment. You end up getting stuck in completing projects with clients that you signed up many months ago, even if they're paying you $3,000 a month, but you never set your business up to be able to walk away. So let's say, for example, I had 10 customers. Let's say, for example, I had 10 customers that pay me $3,000 a month. I'm making $30,000 a month. Kudos to you, right? In that scenario, you're making $30,000 a month. But every customer is going to have different challenges. Facebook algorithm is going to consistently change. The funnels are going to break. Zapier may break on those different campaigns and so on and so forth. So you're constantly going back and forth to fix them. You're thinking of new creative ideas to drive traffic for your clients. And you got 10 clients that you're doing this for. Well, at month 2, you don't have enough time to go and acquire SaaS monthly subscribers. You don't, and month 3, same thing. Month 4, month 6, month 7, month 12, a year in, you don't have enough time. Why? Because you're focusing on managing and maintaining those 10 customers who are paying you $3,000 a month. You're stuck at $3,000 a month with 10 customers. Now, on the alternative, if you are in a scenario where you replace services, let's say, for example, a one-time setup of $1,000 plus $399 a month, well, guess what you just did? You got one customer that gave you your $1,000, so you're able to be financially sound in that month, right? Like if you get enough customers in 1 month, but what you're doing is you're stacking up subscribers on your SaaS. So if you did that for, let's just say that, let's go use these 2 scenarios. One scenario is 10 customers at $3,000 a month. That's one scenario, $30,000 a month coming in. The other scenario is you're getting 10 customers a month that are paying you $1,000 a month, $1,000 for a one-time setup. So 10 customers, that's $10,000 for a one-time setup. But at the end of the year, if you keep getting 10 new subscribers that are paying you $399 a month, $399, and you get 10 subscribers per month for a year, 10 new subscribers times 12, that's 120 subscribers. Multiply that by $399, you're making $47,880. Did I go too fast? Put too fast in the comment if I went too fast with these numbers to conceptualize everything. If I went too fast, let me know. I'm gonna go through it real quick one more time. So let me go through it one more time. I got you. So let's use this scenario as an example. So do you see my calculator here? You see you see my calculator. All right, great. So here's the scenario. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, team, if I went too fast. So here's the scenario. Let's say that you have 10 customers a month. Okay, you have 10 customers a month paying you $3,000 a month for Facebook ads. So you're paying your customers are paying you $3,000 a month, and you're running Facebook ads for them. $3,000 a month, multiply that by 10 months. I'm sorry, $3,000 a month per customer, multiply that by 10 customers, your business is generating $30,000 a month. Okay. Now, if you retain all those subscribers, okay, if you retain all those subscribers for the year, at the end of the year, you will still have 10 customers paying you $30,000, 10 customers paying $3,000 a month. You're still making $30,000 a month. So that's the done for you agency side. But what happens with agency services, you're going to consistent high ticket agency services, you're going to experience churn. So even if they all stayed in the first year, by month 13, month 14, you start to lose customers. So you end up losing one client at $3,000 a month, right? You lose another client at $3,000 a month. You lose 3 clients at $3,000 a month. You lose 4 clients. Now you're trickling down. So now you're at 18,000. Like you end up trickling down. That's high ticket done for you agency services. What I'm talking about on point number 2 is where you replace those reoccurring services for one-time setups. So for example, let's say that your one-time setup is $1,000 per client. And every month you're bringing in 10 new clients. So month 1, you brought in 10 new clients, 10 clients, they pay you $1,000. What are they paying you $1,000 for? They're paying you for the setup of their website or setup of their funnel or setup of an automation. It's still custom, but you're no longer doing the recurrent, like you don't run Facebook ads anymore. All you're doing is setting up their account for them, and you charge them for that. So if you got 10 people a month, that's $10,000 that your business made, which, you know, in hindsight, like, hey, of course, you're going to want the $30,000. You're going to want the $30,000 a month. But in this scenario, what you did is you got 10 subscribers. Okay. So if you do the math, 10 subscribers, let's say that they're all paying you $399 a month. So you added $3,990 in monthly recurring revenue. So in month 1. So you add $3,990 in monthly recurring revenue, but in the one-time setup, you charge each customer $1,000 and you got 10 customers in a month. So let's say it took you 1 month to complete everyone's setup. Okay, it took you 1 month to complete everyone's setup. You still got $3,990 coming in from their monthly recurring revenue for your SaaS because they're using that setup, but they only paid you one time for that setup. On month 2, you go and get another 10 customers that pay you $1,000 for their setup. So that's where you make your bulk of your money. So you made another $10,000 on that setup on month 2. And you do this for a year. So that means every month you're getting 10 clients, just 10 clients that you're setting up one time. You're doing a one-time setup per client, and it takes you a month to fulfill 10 clients. 10 clients per month, you multiply that by 12 months, you'll be at 120 SaaS subscribers. 120 SaaS subscribers that are paying you $399 a month, your SaaS by itself is making $47,880. This is what I'm sharing with you, team. Option A, you have one option, which is to do the high ticket services, right? To get 3 people, but then what happens is you're stuck on the fulfillment. You're stuck on the fulfillment of those customers. Okay, you're stuck on the fulfillment of those customers. Suzette said, "What about churning for the SaaS?" There's going to be churn on both. In this scenario, just to make it easy, the numbers easier, I didn't include any churn on either one. For the first year of subscribers of the high ticket done for you service, $3,000 a month, 10 customers. Let's say that they stay for the year. It's really going to be less, but let's say that they stay for the year. Even at the end of the year, your business is still making $30,000 a month on the high ticket side. On the SaaS side, at the end of the year, your business is now making $47,000 a month. This is what happens when someone transitions. This is why you end up creating more profit and more revenue, because you've been focusing on acquiring subscribers rather than fulfilling on services. Okay, so does that make sense now? Put the words "that makes" or makes sense, or yes. If I know this is a bunch of math, and I don't want to confuse anyone, but I just want to make sure that everyone understands. Yes, makes sense. Thank you, Christina. Okay, yes. Yes, Liza, that doesn't include the 10,000. The reason that I share that the 10,000 is important is because most marketing agencies, and I understand that world so well, is you can't just completely stop cold turkey. You still need to get as much revenue as possible, right? You can't stop cold turkey. Now, the next thing, so number 1 is only do services for your SaaS. So I explained that one already. Number 2 is replace recurring services with one-time setups plus a SaaS monthly recurring revenue. So an example of a one-time setup would be, "Hey, Mr. Bob," or "Hey, Mr. Customer, my name is Andy from Progretta. One of the things that you told me that you need is you need a system that has your lead, that can manage your leads and you can follow up on and do more business with them and so on and so forth. But you don't have a website. So here's what I suggest, Mr. Customer. We'll set you up with a CRM to track all your customers, to manage your phone, do your missed call text back. We'll set up the CRM for you. But on top of that, I suggest that we set up a website as well. So that way your clients can go to your website, learn more about your services, and book an appointment with you. And they ask you, how much is that? In this scenario, it's $1,000 for us to set it up. And then it's $399 a month. And that's all you're doing every single month. That's all you're doing every single month. Okay. So that's step 2 of the transition. So this may be your first 2 months, by the way, like just replacing high ticket recurring services with one-time setups. You may just do this for 2 months, right? You may just do that for 2 months. Then how do I get out of it, Andy? Like, how do I get out of that? What you're going to want to do, and what we did, is we want to create high potent customers. And one of the ways that we did that is we charge a higher ticket for the one-time setups. So for example, $5,000 plus. So on step 2 of this transition, well, step 1 is making a decision to only do services on your SaaS. We already discussed that. Step 2 is to replace recurring services with one-time setups. That could, the one-time setup could be any price, $500, $1,000, $250 for a one-time setup, right? So you're helping your customer get situated and find value in your SaaS because you set them up at one time. And then you're getting a drip of that monthly recurring revenue every single month, okay? Then the next phase is to do only high ticket one-time setups. The reason for this is because what I've identified is that Suzette mentioned churn. If you charge, for example, $250 a one-time setup, and then you charge $399 a month, that customer has a higher likelihood of churning and canceling the software because they didn't even invest something big in the beginning. So I wanted to create potent customers who stayed with us long-term. And one of the ways that we did that is we charged a high ticket one-time setup. So it was $5,000 plus. Now the high ticket, this is just an example of what I did, but you can always choose a different number. For yours, it could be $2,000, and that's your high number. Like every new subscriber does a $2,000 setup with you, or $3,000. You can choose your number. In my scenario, it was only $5,000. The reason why was because if someone invested $5,000, $399 is not going to be an issue typically for them per month, or $749 is not, like however much you sell your SaaS. I sell my SaaS for $399 and $749 for our top 2 plans. So I have a middle plan, which is $399. That's called Platinum. And then I have the Diamond, which is $749. So the high ticket one-time setup, Nick asked a question in the chat box. He said, does the high ticket setup include onboarding? You can include onboardings, automations. Like for $5,000, for example, I may build out your funnel. I may build out your automation. I may build out set up your calendar and do 3 weeks of onboarding, or 3 calls of onboarding with you for $5,000. All right, so our team is going to design it, create your copy, set up your funnels, set up your automations and workflows. We'll teach you how to use the software. That's a $5,000 fee. And then the software itself is $749 per month, or the software itself is $399. Whatever you sell your software for. It could be $297, $197, whatever you decided to sell your software for. If you're currently in my coaching program, I teach you how to sell at a higher than average price point. If you're not, then you just choose how much you're going to sell your SaaS for. Okay. So that's the 3rd step in your transition. This may be 2 months. So you may be focusing on the next 2 months. You're not doing recurring services. You're not doing Facebook ads anymore, monthly Facebook ads. You're not doing monthly retainers of anything. All you're doing is getting customers and you charge them one time to set up their account. And ideally that setup, it takes less than 30 days. Okay. Ideally that setup takes less than 30 days. So that way next month, you're only focusing on your focus is acquiring more subscribers. Okay. That's step 3. And you may do that for 2 months. Now, around this time, I think maybe on step 4 is when in my SaaS, my accountant came to me and we were looking at the numbers. And what we did is in one P&L, one profit and loss, we're able to identify which is an agency account, which is our agency fees, and which are our marketing service fees. So we were able to separate them, and that's what we did. Now, if you are in our coaching program, then you know about how to manage your cash for a SaaS agency. I teach you about the profit loss on profit first system by Mike Michalowicz. But if you're not, then let me just share with you for context. What I did was I created one bank account or different bank accounts for my SaaS, one for my marketing agency, separated them, and then I was able to essentially see which one's profitable, which one was not profitable, and so forth. Around this time, so this may be 4 months into your journey, you're going to do this fourth step, which is you no longer do high ticket services anymore. You no longer do high ticket setups. The only service that you do for new customers is what you call a data migration. This is when you go to someone, for example, someone's on ClickFunnels, and you say, hey, I saw that you're on ClickFunnels. We will move over all your campaigns, all your emails, all your contacts, and we'll migrate them for $5,000, or we'll migrate them for $4,000, or we'll migrate them for however much. So the only service that you provide for customers on step 4 is just data migration. That means nothing else is custom. The value of this is you can do, this is a scalable activity. You can hire virtual team members to go ahead and do this for you. And your customer moves over all their data to your system, which what the value of that is they only have one place to look at. And number 2, once you cancel their other subscription, then they're going to stay with you. So now you're acquiring subscribers, and the only service that you're doing is migrating their data. So it's no longer like, what funnels do you want and creating custom anything. If nothing's custom at this point, you are only moving the information over, okay? So that's step 4. So the frequently asked question is like, how long does this take? You may do this, the number 2 thing, you may do that for 2 months, where you just do the one-time setups at any rate. That may be 2 months long. And then you may transition to step 3, and that may be 2 months long, where you only do high-ticket one-time setups for 5K plus. And then this, where you only do your only service is new customer data migration, that may just be 2 months long. What happened for me is, because of the way that our bank accounts are set up, what happened for me is my accountant said, hey, Andy, I've been tracking the revenue, I've been tracking the profit on both sides. If you stopped done for you services, you will be much more profitable, because your biggest expense, Andy, is on payroll, is paying people. Now, if you're a marketing agency, you are either the technician, you're the one doing the technician, you're the one in the ads, you're the one in the funnels, you're the one editing, or you hire someone else to do it. At any given point, you're spending energy, whether you hire someone or you're doing it yourself. So what ended up happening is that we found that people were just, my profit literally just increased by stopping to do high ticket services, because those people that were on our team doing the done for you services, we just transitioned their attention to marketing our SaaS. So our tech team that would be all up in different people's accounts and building out funnels, building out pipelines, building out campaigns, we just said, hey, you no longer have to do it for clients anymore. You are no longer taking on new clients. You're only going to do it for Progretta and to help market our business. And that's what our tech team does today. So our tech team, I got a big tech team, but all they do is build out campaigns to promote our subscription products and promote our SaaS. That's it. So in your scenario, part of your transition is going to be just doing customer data migration. Hey, we'll download the CSV file from your other platform right into our software, and you charge a fee for that. Then the next point here is, guess what happens? There's going to be some customers that you can acquire. Like there's going to be some customers that you can get, but you no longer do services anymore. So what is the solution? If you're trying to get a customer, you've had a great journey. Let's say, for example, all of this took 2 months apiece. 2 months to replace recurring services with one-time setups, 2 months to only do it for high ticket, and then 2 months for customer data migration. So 2, 4, 6. So let's say in general, that took 6 months, and you're acquiring 10 customers a month. So now you have 60 customers. You already have enough attention to make sure to keep those 60 customers and give those customers value. But to continue to acquire customers the way that you have done, you may want to find and partner with a white label done for you agency. That company that still already has a system to maintain and do fulfillment for done for you services, and they're willing to do it white label. So for example, in my journey, we hired companies that would do build outs for our customers. So I hired a third party company. They would act as Progretta. They would say, hey, my name is so-and-so from Progretta, and my job is to help build this out for you, okay? And if you want, Jacques, you asked a question, which company did you use? I'm not going to share it with you publicly, but what I will do, I will connect you with them. If you email my team, support@audate.com, just say, I wasn't expecting that you would like, but if this is going to be valuable for you to connect you, I'm sure that they have the bandwidth to support you. So to send the email to my team, Jacques, and then my team will connect you. Okay, just send the email to my team. If you want to find out what company that we used, they are high level. They know the ins and outs of high level. They build out funnels, so on and so forth. They work with our team, and they answer any of our questions, and then they help our customers. And what the value of that is, we maintain the subscription, but they're also getting paid on the high ticket done for you service. So part of our transition, when I stopped doing done for you services, I completely stopped it. Like, we don't do, to this day, we don't do done for you services, but we partnered up with the white label done for you agency. So they take on that role. It's a third party company, but they would act to the customer and say, hey, I'm part of the Progretta team. And then they'll relay all the information back to us. Okay. They'll relay all the information back to us and say, hey, this customer, we set them up with this campaign, we set them up with this funnel, so on and so forth. And they took care of all of that, and they would charge a nominal fee. So for example, if the white label agency charged me $1,500 for something, I'll go back to the customer and we can charge them $3,000 for the setup. So our company got the $1,500 or the $3,000, and we paid the white label agency, for example, in that scenario, $1,500. So the customer pays $3,000. We took a $3,000 fee for the customer, and then we went to the white label agency, paid them $1,500. Okay. So the next step is that we found and we partnered with white label done for you agency, so that way they can do all the done for you stuff, but we retain the subscription. Then the next thing is, all new customers are going to be SaaS customers completely. So that's the next transition. And so when all your customers are SaaS customers, if anyone wants fulfillment, any new done for you fulfillment is done by the white label agency. Okay. So this has been the journey. So this whole entire process, for me, I think it took less than 12 months, but this is essentially your blueprint here. Number one, you only do services on your SaaS. So for those of you in the beginning who were saying like, hey, Andy, like I do services on other people's products. That's fine. That's fine. So you got the $5,000 or you got the $4,000 or whatever that fee is, but then that company is getting the subscription, right? That company is getting the subscription. So when I used to build out Shopify stores, right, I would send people to Shopify. And then still to this day, they're paying Shopify. When I set them up a few years ago, still to this day, they're paying Shopify still, okay? When I would do Kajabi, I remember I used to build out courses, and I would sign them up under my affiliate link in Kajabi. I'm still getting paid for Kajabi, whatever the percentage is. I forget I think it's 30% with them. I'm still getting paid on Kajabi affiliates for setups that we did in 2020, right? For 4 years ago, we're still getting paid monthly subscription. So that means they're still paying Kajabi when my software has the same capabilities, right? So that's why we only did services on our SaaS. So in this scenario, you would only do services on your SaaS as well. Then number two is, now that you're only doing services on your SaaS, you're going to stop the recurring services, the high ticket, because you will get sucked into a hole of fulfillment if you cannot. You won't be able to focus on customer acquisition because you're going to be focusing on customer fulfillment, right? I'm doing Facebook ads. I got to build out your campaign. I got to build your funnels, especially if it's recurring. So you're only doing it for one customer. So what I'm sharing with you is, you're still going to do fulfillment. You'll just do it for new groups of customers every single month. So that way, at the end of a 12-month time frame, you now stacked up enough monthly recurring revenue. Okay. Now you're going to do the second stage in your transition. You're going to do it at any rate. It could be $250 for a setup. It could be $5,000. It could be $10,000. Then when you get comfortable, it may take you 2 months. It may take you 3 months. But when you get comfortable, then you're only going to do high ticket one-time setups. That's it. Only high ticket one-time setups. So no other types of setups, just high ticket. And you just choose what your high ticket number is. If it's 3,000, if it's 5,000, so on and so forth. The value of the high ticket is because it gives you enough financial ability to invest into marketing for your business to go ahead and acquire more customers, to be able to market to acquire more customers and to retain those customers. Okay, you're gonna want to you're going to want to have the ability to hire staff, pay for a Facebook ads to run for your business, right? To market your SaaS. So that's why even if you got 10 customers at $5,000, that's $50,000 in that 1 month. You take the next 30 days to really focus on them and build them out and give them the level of value. Out of that 50,000, you should now have the ability to go hire a white label onboarding partner. That's what I talked about in my Facebook post. So that way you don't have to do the onboarding. You pay someone else to do the onboarding for you. That's what we did. You hire a white label onboarding partner, white label tech support. So it's all white labeled, but now because you made enough revenue. So if you skip the third part and you only did step 2 and you did services at any rate, if you got 10 customers that you fulfilled, and you're supposed to be on step 3, but you got 10 customers at $250, your business only made $2,500 in setup fees that month. You're not going to have enough money to hire a white label onboarding team, pay money for advertising, pay more money to advertise and acquire subscribers, and you probably lose those subscribers. So this is why it's important. And those subscribers are going to cancel anyway, typically, because if they spend $250, they want more attention from you. You're not going to be able to provide it because you're not creating enough revenue. So choose only high ticket one-time setups, 5,000 plus or $3,000 plus, so on and so forth. Okay. Then 2 months later, this could be 2 months later, then the only service that you do for your new customers is data migration. Hey, Mr. Customer, I'm going to migrate all your emails, your campaigns, everything that you have in your old CRM. We're going to move it over to this new CRM. That itself is $3,500. So let's get you started and let's do the migration. Okay. And then you migrate them. Now, to acquire new customers, you may find yourself in a situation where you've already built a process of selling done-for-you services to your clients. Instead of you fulfilling the done-for-you services, you're going to find and partner with a white label done-for-you agency. I have a connection with one, and Jacques asked me for that company. If I give it to him, I'll give it to everyone else. Just send my team an email, support@audate.com. And my team, I'm just going to confirm with them that it's okay that we send you to them. And if they give us the go ahead, then we will give you like the calendar link or their email address, so that way you can get in touch with them. So just email me, support@audate.com. Just say, hey, I was at the workshop, marketing agency to SaaS agency. Andy said to email you to get in contact with your white label done for you provider, and I'll connect you with them. Then all new customers are SaaS agencies moving forward. All new customers are going to be SaaS. All new customers moving forward are SaaS customers. And then any new fulfillment, you're not doing fulfillment. Your job is to acquire customers. And any new fulfillment is going to be done by a white label agency. So all the build outs, funnels, so on and so forth, they will be a member of your team because they are white labeled, right? They're white labeled. So, but they're not on your payroll. They're not on your staff. They're just another company that's a third-party provider. And all your job is for your core company is to focus on customer acquisition. That's what we did to get hundreds of subscribers over the years. Okay. I hope this was valuable for you. I know some of you are like, Andy, whoa, this is a game changer. Some of you may be like, this was too fast. Some of you may be like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I needed. Let me know in the chat box where essentially you stand. And then I'll go ahead and answer some questions that were here. So let's go. If you're here and you had a question. So let's start with Anna's question. Anna, is this question you asked about 30 minutes ago, is that still relevant? It said, I watched something like this with you like a year or two ago, and you wanted us to sign up under you and lots of money to learn from you, but I am at the highest level. So is this for me to watch and learn? Anna, can you elaborate what you're speaking of? Hey, Anna, you with us? Okay. I'll go to the next question. Jacques, did you niche down? How did you attract your ideal client? What kind of paid traffic did you use? Jacques, are you in one of our programs? I've seen your name a couple of times. Are you in one of our programs, Jacques?
I am. I'm in your syndicate.
Okay, in the syndicate. So I share with you a couple of different ways on how we drive traffic. One of the ways that we drive traffic is, so it wasn't only until recently I started running ads. Everything before that was all organic. Everything was before that was all organic. So we partner with people who have bigger email lists than us, and we give them a kickback. That's number one. Number two, we do the buddy pass. I think I explained that in the syndicate, but we do the buddy pass. So like when someone registers, we then ask them, hey, can you register someone else? So if I get, let's say 100 people to register, let's say my email affiliate gets 100 people to register for the webinar. In our sequence, each person, we're going to ask them, hey, can you register another person? Can you register another person? And bring them with you because people who learn together earn together. That's essentially like what I'm telling them. Like people who learn together earn together, which is true. So if you come connect, bring some other people that you're connected with that wants to learn how to make 6 figures through social media, and you think it'll be valuable for them to join this workshop and this training, invite them and send them this link. They will register other people. They actually will register other people. So if 100 people get registered, I'll get an additional 30 people to come to my webinar. So email provider, email marketer sends 100. Out of that 100, I get an additional 30. Well, those 30 get the same sequence. And they get the same sequence of register another person, and it keeps on trickling and trickling and trickling down. That's like the broad overview of a system that we've used that has worked with us efficiently. We've also brought in other speakers, and part of the deal is they got to bring attendees to our events as well. I do a lot more in the intensive where we talk about different additional strategies in our intensive, and I show different use cases and examples. But for the most part, what I just share with you is really our play.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacques. That's a great
I'm
question.
also joining you in your mastermind.
You coming to the mastermind?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a party, brother. It's gonna be a party. I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to see you, Jacques.
Thank you.
Mo said, would Facebook and Instagram ads connecting into the SaaS be considered only selling SaaS? Mo, can you give me some insight? Like, what do you mean Instagram, Facebook ads connecting into the SaaS? Mo Abdul. Mo, you with us? Hey, Mo. Okay. For the most part, I'm going to be bringing you up if you have questions. Okay. Can you share the link to that page? Anna, because you sent this message about 30 minutes ago. So the link that you're probably talking about is the sales page of our high ticket done for you service. That's not something that I promote anymore. We don't even do those anymore. It just happened to be up. I saw it yesterday. It just happened to be still alive, but we don't do the done for you services. I would prefer to get a $399 customer than a $3,000 a month customer any day. So we don't send traffic to that. Okay. The next question is, what about churn? Oh, I think I answered that one, Suzette, the mommypreneur. One of the questions was, what about churning for the SaaS? Does it apply here? You will get churn. You know, if you don't have any churn, that means you're small, because you are going to get churn. People have different life experiences. Things happen in life. They shut down businesses, so on and so forth. Like things happen that would have them cancel your subscription with your SaaS. But in that example, I share with you a scenario of if it was 100% retention. I see Liza was talking about the math. So Anna and Liza were going back and forth with the math here. All right, Yamili Kosawan. Andy, are you serving a particular niche? And then Mark answered, he's niched by the feature, not the industry. Mark, you're in the course, huh? You're in the course. I niche. I didn't niche in a vertical. I niche by feature. So the best example that I have is going to be like Calendly. Like, what did Calendly niche down to, right? They just sell a feature. Right? Their feature is calendar. The feature that I chose is called chat automation, and that's where you text this word to this phone number. So we promote that heavily. I mean, we have salons doing it. We have mattress stores doing. I mean, we have coaches doing it, gyms doing it, trainers doing it. Where like text this word to this phone number, and that's all we promote. That's all I promote. Okay, Jacques. What is an example of done for you? So, and what company did you use? I think I answered that one. Just email us, Jacques, and anyone else here if you want access to that company. I'm just gonna get confirmation with them. I'm like 99% that it's okay, but before I promote them and share with them, I'm just gonna send them. I'm just gonna let them know like, hey, I'm gonna send some folks your way.
I emailed your team already too.
All right, thank you, Jacques. Yeah, just support everyone. Support at AndyAudate.com. My team will give you the details of our done for you agency. I've been working with them for a few years now. Okay. Actually, and they know high level very, very well. Okay. So they could probably train you and teach you a couple of things if you're new. But for your clients, they'll also support your clients in understanding the software, especially. So like, for example, the value of that for me is, let's say I pay them, the prices vary depending on the services and how many people are included. But let's just say a scenario of I get charged $1,500 for a funnel. That's an example. And a funnel and some automations and so forth. I charge the customer $3,000 for the service. I take the $3,000 payment. I pay the white label agency $1,500. I take a net profit of $1,400, and I mean $1,500 in that scenario, and then I still keep the recurring revenue, right? So that's why those white label agencies are just like a godsend. All right, Liza, not clear on the offer for the 5K high ticket option. Okay, Liza, you with us?
I am.
Liza, what part are you not clear on, and what part did you fully understand?
Well, I wasn't quite sure what was the offer for that. What were you providing for that 5,000?
Every customer. So first and foremost, my ideology on prices, the number is made up, right? So I made a decision on the rate, and then number two, the way the sales process was, I would do a webinar, and then after the webinar, we would do a post-webinar interview, and we would do a phone call, and I would identify what their needs were, and I would say that we can fulfill that. So they'll let us know, I need a funnel, I need a way to categorize my leads. So that's the pipeline. And then I need some automations and some email sequences to sell my course. Okay, that's the automations. And then I would build out a scope of work and say, hey, we'll build it out for you. It's $5,000.
So what's the difference though between that and like, so we do $1,000, upfront build out, and then it's our monthly. So what would be the differentiator between that and the high ticket one?
Just how much money you're charging.
Okay.
That's it. That's it.
All right, great.
That's it.
By the way, it is Lisa, not Liza, but that's okay. The Z messes everyone up. So
okay, good. Lisa. In this scenario here, so this one, what I was just sharing is,
yeah,
you would do the number two, and then you would transition to number three. With number three, just charge more. And the reason you charge more is because you want to have more revenue to be able to spend money on to operate the business.
Sounds good to me. Thanks.
Awesome. Did I answer your question?
It did. Thanks.
Thank you, Lisa. Let's go to Christina M. I have no clients still looking. I have no clients still looking forward to meeting you in Vegas. Your explanation is clear and makes sense. Thank you, Christina. I look forward to meeting you in Vegas as well. And for everyone, if you want to come out to Las Vegas, we are having a mastermind in Las Vegas at my office. Go to GoSaaSLaunch.com/mastermind. There's a few attendees that are going to be coming here. It's a small, intimate event. GoSaaSLaunch.com/mastermind. It's going to be a Go High Level training workshop here in Vegas. Okay. GoSaaSLaunch.com/mastermind. GoSaaSLaunch.com/mastermind. Suzette, the mommypreneur, I am looking to transition to the recurring revenue side without spending all day on my computer. This is from me. Thank you, Suzette. I'm glad you're here. Brahma, are you live right now, or is this pre-recorded? Actually, this is AI. No, I'm saying, man, that would be funny though. That would be hilarious, man. One day in the future, I'm sure that's gonna be here. Okay, one day in the future, that's gonna be here. Mo, you're here. I couldn't hear you, my friend. I couldn't hear you. You can unmute yourself and ask your question again if you like. Does your coaching show us how to set up an education program like yours or other big players in the affiliate space to keep subscribers? Maceo Lines. Actually, Maceo, we're working on something for probably next year. So as of today, it doesn't. What we're going to do is we're going to template all that we did for our coaching programs for the Go High Level community and how we created the automations and workflows for our Go High Level community. We're going to snapshot that. It's probably going to be next year, my friend. But our coaching program is 100% focused on SaaS, not how to create online courses or like education programs. It's all focused on how to acquire SaaS subscribers, onboard them, and retain them. That's going to be our high end, and then our syndicate is only focusing on the sales part, Maceo. So I hope that answers your question. So everything that I do for the Go High Level community is just focusing on sales, onboarding, and customer retention. Mo said you answered my question. Thank you, Mo.
Yeah, well, actually, Andy.
Yes, who's that?
Yeah, this is Mo here.
Mo.
Yeah, thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing. Just a question, just for clarification. I know you're selling SaaS, but what features within SaaS are you focused on? Because as you know, there's quite a few, right? And to get the low hanging fruit and keep things moving, like, are there like a top 3 that you focus on, or what's the situation there?
So at Progretta, we focus on chat automation. It's a term that my wife termed.
So is that like the chat
conversation?
box,
No.
conversational chat box?
No. It's not AI. It's not AI. Chat automation is, let me show you. Because I already have those PowerPoints set up for my Progretta presentation. So let me show you what that is. But essentially, it's use case. It's this. So this is what I do on a webinar. Don't text this number, please. This is not for the Go High Level community. This is for the people that we sell our SaaS to. But I tell them to text this word to this phone number, and I give them an example of this gentleman, Ivan, who, he's been with us for, I don't know, 3 years now. But on his Instagram, people direct message the word wealth to him, and they click on message, and then the software responds automatically with like some type of prompt to get the email address. The lead puts in the email goes into the CRM, and then we ask the lead for their phone number. The lead's phone number goes into the CRM. So at this point, we have their name, email, and phone number, and then there's an automatic email that goes out to set up a sales appointment. So that's all I promote. Is just this simple automation. We designed that years ago. It's a snapshot. We designed that years ago. But we sell that for $750 a month.
Yeah, that's quite simple.
Well, what I discovered, man, the more complex, the more bells and whistles that you have, man, it's like, it sounds so cool, but like no one understands. And then people are like, I don't know how I use this. Like that, what I just shared with you right now, we have hair salons. The hair salons buy it software, and then they have all their stylists do it on their Instagram and their social medias, and they do QR codes, and they have right in front of their store, they'll have text the word hair for this phone number. You have life insurance agents, you have coaches, you have gyms using this, and they're like, this is a cool feature, man. This is, people walk by and they just text this word and I got a lead, right? But it's not AI, because I can't control AI. This is actually a pre-built snapshot.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay. You can actually get it. You can actually get it for free. I gave it away for free. The link is GoSaaSLaunch.com/749. To my Progretta customers, we gave it to them for free if they subscribe to us, right? To the Go High Level community, I just got so many DMs about it that we just created a landing page and give it to you. So you can download the snapshot and plug it into your high level agency. Okay. And it's a simple workflow that it's so simple that most people reverse engineer it, but you can just get the snapshot. So that's GoSaaSLaunch.com/749, and you can just download it.
Thank you very much.
Mark, if you were to restart today, no team, just you and no connections, how would I sign up your first 10 clients? No team, no connections. Mark, would I have an email list?
Let's just say no. Let's just say you're like completely blank slate.
If I was completely blank slate and I have no connections, no email list, do I have an account? Do I have a high level account?
Oh yeah, your high level's all set up and ready to start onboarding.
So I'm gonna go. First of all, there's two routes. I'm just gonna start asking people. So I'm gonna go to, for example, the local chamber of commerce. These are things that I've actually done myself. I'm gonna go to a local chamber of commerce. I'm gonna go to a BNI meeting. And I'm gonna go to eventbrite.com. And I'm going to look up every single business event and I'm going to fill up my calendar. This is if I don't have a team, I don't have like a huge responsibility. Like today, I'm not doing that because I have a lot that's going on. But if I had zero, I would fill up my calendar with eventbrite.com and I would go to all those events. Every single event that I could fill up my calendar with, I'm going. The one in the morning, that's at 7 a.m. The one in the afternoon, the lunch and brunch, the lunch and learn, I'm going to that one. The networking happy hour in the afternoon, in the evening, I'm going to that. I'm doing that every single day.
So all your work's going to be face to face then.
That's one element. That's one element. The next one is I'm going to do the same thing just on social media, online. Can I speak at your webinar? Can I speak at your event? Can you email this out to your audience and we'll do a revenue share? And I think this will be valuable for your audience. So we'll do a revenue share. So I'm going to fill up my calendar with all those people's webinars and workshops. That's going to probably be easier, but I will fill up my calendar with all those people's workshops and webinars and ask them to present at their event. When I present at their event, all these people, I'm going to give away one thing for free. I'm going to identify one thing for free. I'm going to give it away. And that one thing for free, to get them to register, I'm going to have them text that word to my phone number. So let me see if I have an old PowerPoint of when I did this. I may have an old PowerPoint. I'm going through the archive and searching to see if this is. Okay, so this is one. Don't text this, guys, because you're going to end up getting on the wrong email list. Okay, but what I would do is I would say, give me 10 minutes. So this whole presentation that I'm showing you right now on my screen, this is 10 minutes long. And Mark, you're in the syndicate, right? Are you in the coaching program?
Yes, sir.
So you have this. So you have this in your templates area.
Yeah, I'm just struggling to get in front of people.
So when I do get in front of them, I would just say, hey, this is working with me is working without me is this for you, and working with me is this for you. And I would break this down, and I'd say, hey, we have an online event taking place next, whatever the day it is. This is what you're going to learn. And then I talk about, hey, this was something else I used to do, which was virtual assistants. I tried to do a virtual assistant agency a while ago. But then I would say that this is the value of it. And then I'm going to give you a webinar that the value of it should be $9.97. And I'm going to give you my ebook. And the total value of this is $13.94. And I slash that and I give it to you for free. And I have them text the word. So all I'm doing is just getting in front of people and then driving them to my webinar. That's what I would do.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Was that valuable for you?
Yes,
that
sir.
give you insight? Okay, cool. Okay. Can you put the link in the chat? Okay. Thank you, America, for putting the link in the chat. Go SaaSlaunch.com/mastermind for the link. In the to come to the mastermind in Las Vegas. For the snapshot. Okay, Liam, thank you for putting the link in the snapshot. Okay. And Susanna asked, will there be a replay of this? Yes, there will be a replay of this. It's going to be on my YouTube channel. On my Facebook channel. So if you go to facebook.com/Andy Audate online, I'm actually live streaming this right now as we record. Okay, cool. So I hope this was valuable for you, number one. Number two, I hope this was also a blueprint for you. If you're currently in transition of like, hey, like I wanna make this move. How do I do that? I just gave you the game plan. If you're currently doing high ticket done for you services or services in general, and you're looking to transition. Okay. If you have any questions or challenges, or if you want to know how we can further support you, you can schedule a call with my team. Here is their link. The link is GoSaaSlaunch.com/call. You can schedule a call with Rose, and she can guide you on any ways that we can support you, whether it's our mastermind, our coaching programs, our curriculums, our snapshots, so on and so forth. Schedule a call with Rose at GoSaaSlaunch.com/call. We're working on a couple of things where We have templated our SaaS HQ account to the point that we can actually redesign and set up a whole SaaS within 30 days. So we can actually build out your whole entire system. That's something that's coming later on in the year. But if you're at a stage right now where you're like, hey, I want that additional support, I want that additional value, I want to get inside of a community who's already doing it, schedule a call with Rose at GoSaaSLaunch.com/call. Suzanne says this was really valuable. Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining me. Now the activity, the opportunity is to take action on this. It's not to say, hey, I went to a workshop and this was cool. It's if you are currently doing high ticket done for your services, in the next few months and just follow everything I shared with you on the transition plan. If you are currently in the syndicate, you get weekly Q&As with me. And as you're doing the activity, if you have questions or challenges, bring yourself to the Q&A call and reach out, and I'll be there to support you and guide you. Okay. The syndicate is $99 a month. That's a great question. Syndicate is $99. So that weekly coaching call is $99, and I'll put a link here. You sent me your DM direct, but I'm gonna put the link here for everyone. If you want access to the syndicate, that is weekly coaching for $99, $99 per month. Okay, and you get templates, and you get email campaigns, you get my webinar templates, and so much more. Okay, well, everyone, it was a pleasure being here. I'm a little bit over my time, but I wanted to make sure that this information, number one, was there for you. Number two, lived on the internet. And number three, you have an actual step-by-step playbook to go ahead and operate your business. We do this workshop once a month, every single month. So be on the lookout for our next workshop. Go to GoSaaSLaunch.com/workshop, or just schedule a call with Rose, who can essentially direct you to the best place. Go to GoSaaSLaunch.com/call to schedule a call with Rose. And everything that we talked about, from the mastermind, the snapshots, the coaching programs, she'll be able to support you and give you access and insight. GoSaaSLaunch.com/call. Everyone, it was a pleasure being here with you. I'll see you on the next call. Bye for now, everyone. Bye for now.